Good evening. Welcome to the State of Business on our television with me, Kavishka Pereira. Let's take a look at today's headlines. MP Dasari Jayasekara assumes duties as General Secretary of SLFP. Current momentum key to achieving export target in 2019, says NCE Chairman Ramal Jaisinghe. News in detail. MP Dasari Jayasekara assumed duty as the new General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party today at the SLFP headquarters. President Maithripala Sirisena, the chairman of the SLFP, visited the SLFP headquarters this morning to congratulate the new Secretary General. During this event, the President presented the letter of appointment to Mr. Dasari Jayasekara. Senior Vice President of the SLFP, former Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva, Mahinda Amaravira, Duminda Disanayaka, Mahinda Samarasinghe, Tilanga Sumatipala, Lasantha Alagiyawanna, former General Secretary of SLFP Professor Rohana Lakshman Piyadasa, and senior members of SLFP were present on this occasion. Speaking exclusively to Art Television for a special business program, Chairman of the National Chamber of Exporters Ramal Jaisinghe expressed the following with regard to achieving growth in exports during last year.
Somewhere in the middle of June, we realized that the import bill of the country was double that of the exports. So at that time, as I remember, we had our exports at about 13.5 or 14 billion, somewhere around there. And our import bill was 21 billion. And out of that import bill, it was mainly oil imports, fuel imports for power generation and vehicles and such items. Probably some of them essential, some of them non-essential, but it came to a situation of reckoning. So for our part as the export chamber, we worked very closely with the stakeholders of the export industry, and also we worked very closely with the Export Development Board. So the Export Development Board, along with the Sri Lanka government at the time, had an initiative to create the National Export Strategy. So the National Export Strategy is actually something that came out of the National Trade Policy, which was released in 2017. And along with the World Trade Center, who coordinated and worked as the consultant of the formulating the National Export Strategy, all the stakeholders were involved in formulating the National Export Strategy, which I feel was an excellent effort, well thought through effort, and an effort that looks forward to our immediate needs as well as the future needs of our export effort.
Speaking further, Ramal Jaisinghe elaborated upon the National Export Strategy and stated that the NSE was created for all exporters and that the NSE identified 6 markets as the export markets of the future.
It is all exporters, and they've done some in-depth study on what would be the markets of the future. So the National Export Strategy identified 6 areas of industry for development. That included food processing, that included boat building, it included wellness tourism, it included ICT, then it included gem and jewelry, spices, and also tourism in itself was recognized as exchange earner and into the exporter basket.
Chairman of the National Chamber of Exporters Ramal Jaisinghe also expressed the following views regarding export targets for last year and 2019.
We have met 17 billion out of a target of 17.5 billion. So of course there was a prediction that we will not meet that 0.5 billion 2 months ago. It was actually in September because of the uncertainties that arose. So we had that issue, and therefore we were short of 500 million US dollars. But if we go at the same momentum, this year's target is 19 billion, and we can, I feel, if the same trend goes uninterrupted, we should be able to achieve that.
Stay tuned for more news after this short commercial break. Welcome back. Sri Lankan Airlines, in partnership with immersive entertainment specialist Skylights, unveiled a new virtual reality cinema at its business class launch today. Installed in the Serendip lounge at the Bandaranaike International Airport, Skylights Alloski and SkyKids cinematic VR headsets offer passengers the unique opportunity to relax and enjoy the latest films and TV series in 2D, 3D and 360 degrees on individual immersive headsets. In offering this innovative new service, the leading national carrier looks to transform passenger waiting times and set its customary journey apart. If deemed successful, Sri Lankan Airlines may also look to introduce the service on board its long-haul flights. Skylights is an American-French company pioneering VR as passenger entertainment in flight and in the lounge. Recognizing its expertise in the field, Sri Lankan Airlines selected Skylights, Aloski and SkyKid Solutions to create a dedicated private cinema area as a new type of guest experience, including children entertained during their stay at the launch. Now let's take a look at the several stories of the day in brief. Enterprise Asia, the leading non-governmental organization for entrepreneurship in Asia, bestowed recognition upon Sri Lankan brand Supiriviki in the recently conducted International Innovation Awards for 2018. Supiriviki from the Hettigoda Group of Companies won in the product category, and Managing Director of the Hettigoda Group of Companies, Ashoka Hettigoda, received the award. The groundbreaking ceremony for the Clarion City Mixed Development Project was held on Wednesday in Colombo. Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Christian Religious Affairs John Amaratunga was the chief guest for the occasion. The total investment for the venture is 2.4 billion rupees, of which half will be invested by Chinese investor Roxing Hong Kong. The project is expected to be completed in 3 phases, with the hotel and apartments being built first, followed by offices and apartments, and stage 3 being a shopping complex and apartments. Minister of Finance and Mass Media Mangala Samaravira will leave for Washington on Friday to get the IMF External Fund facility back on track. He will be meeting Managing Director of International Monetary Fund Christine Lagarde, Mitsuhiro Furusawa, Deputy Managing Director, Chang Yong-ri, Director Asia Pacific Department, Manuel Goretti, Team Leader and other members of the IMF Sri Lanka team. Minister Samaravira is expected to signal the government's intention to continue with the IMF reform program. A key objective will be to negotiate the trajectory of continued fiscal consolidation while accommodating policies to support growth and strengthen the social safety net. The Finance Minister's delegation to IMF will include the Governor of the Central Bank, Secretary to the Treasury and other key officials of the Central Bank and the Treasury. Stay tuned for stock updates after this short commercial break. Welcome back. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The All-Share Price Index gained 1.86 points to close at 5,984.05, and the S&P SL 20 gained 1.54 points to close at 3,037.63. The turnover was 390 million rupees and 5.5 million shares were traded. Next up is Forex rates. Well, that's all the news we have for today. Join us tomorrow at the same time for more of the very latest. Thank you and good night.